Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Neez Mazda 07. Welcome to another episode of Vintage Game Finder. We got a sizable amount of stuff to look through right now. Happy to say I had a decent weekend. Picked up some stuff, a little bit of everything. I like to say, even stuff that is not directly game related, but still something that's good to have for when you get loose CD-ROMs or loose CD-based games. And what I'm referring to is these jewel cases. These are not the old school type jewel cases that we're all the retro guys are accustomed to using, but I got such a good deal on it that I could not pass it up. I ended up getting a couple of shoe boxes full, actually. I mean, this one here, I have about 100 there, and then about 150 here. So I have those cases for, let's say if I find a loose Dreamcast game for $1 or $2 or something, and I want to keep it, I could just use one of these cases and print a back end or the cover art for the front and back, and just put it on, and I got myself a complete game, even though it's not really complete. But still, it's things like this to me are good to have, because you just never know. Even when you make trades with people, it kind of looks weird that you give somebody loose disc, you know, just here, loose disc. I'm all about the presentation. The people that know me, they know I'm all about the presentation. I mean, I want the first impression to be the best, so I try to make things look as good as I can. So I ended up getting these 2 shoe boxes worth of CD cases for $2. It's not my usual $3, but I got it for $2. So this other find was not found by me. It was found by my cousin Jeff. He, like I mentioned in other videos, he goes out and he dumpster dives, and he, aside from what he's looking for particularly, he finds stuff for me also. So in this case, he ended up finding me a visual memory unit case for the Dreamcast. And for something that they were going to throw away, it's in pretty good shape. It needs cleaning up, that's for sure. Looks like somebody wiped their ass with the instruction manual here, but I'll go ahead and clean that eventually. But it has instruction manual for the VMU. Has a little plastic holder for it, and I guess whoever bought it and ended up leaving the cap out, and it was one of those jungle green pieces. So I'm very happy to find this. I have a friend that's going to hook me up with a jungle green VMU in exchange for my regular gray colored VMU that I have. So I'll end up having something complete, and it's pretty cool to find stuff like this. There was a stage where I went through that I didn't really give a crap about boxes or manuals and stuff like that, but you know, when you come across cool little pieces like this, I mean, I can't say no to this stuff. So I ended up getting that gratis for free. So thanks a lot, Jeff. Next, I ended up getting some trades. I don't recall offhand what exactly I traded for. I know there was a couple Final Fantasies on the PS2. Yeah, there was a Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X2. So I ended up trading those 2 games, and I forgot what the hell else. And in exchange for that, I got a couple manuals for the Genesis to start with. A game I've never played, the instruction manual for Game Ground. Doesn't look like a fun game, but I mean, eventually I'll come across it and I'll play it. So I got that, and then a generic baseball game, RBA Baseball 93 manual. I like keeping the manuals now too, because you get to see a lot of Facebook groups where they're trading their loose games, or somebody has a game and and the only thing they're missing is the cover art or in this case a manual. I could say, hey, I got a manual. What do you got for me? You know what I'm saying? So it works out. Moving on, I got another what looks to be another charger here for the PS2 Slim. Yeah, it is. It's the 8.5 volt AC adapter for the PS2 Slim, and then a regular power cord for the Fat Boy PS2. So I got that so far in trade. Let me see what else I got. I got a 6-pack for the Sega Genesis. This one had Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and Super Hang-On. I remember these coming out, and at that time I already had every game individually. So I mean, you know, I overlooked it, but for somebody like me that still had, I like to think that I don't have a huge collection yet. You know, some of these games are pretty cool to play. So I mean, I don't have Golden Axe yet, unfortunately. I don't have Revenge of Shinobi yet, unfortunately. Streets of Rage I didn't have, but I came across a copy, and I'm happy about that. But I really hated when Sega came out in '95, I think it was, with these cardboard box cases. I wish they stayed with the regular cases they had. I mean, I still don't understand why they made that decision in the first place. But it is what it is. Let's see what else we got. Also, I was very happy about this. I ended up getting it on the trade. I love Capcom fighters, and I love Street Fighter. So I know when you see this, you're gonna say, really? But I had good experiences playing the game. I love Street Fighter. So in this case, this is gonna be a mixed bag on what the responses are about this. But I ended up getting Street Fighter, the movie, for the Sega Saturn. These motion capture games, those were one of the turn-offs for me for games like Mortal Kombat. I mean, like, okay, it looks good, but like when you're actually in the middle of it and you see both of the characters, something doesn't feel right about that. And I felt like that back then when there were those kind of games were prominent, the Mortal Kombats and the Primal Rage and all that other crap. I mean, so that's the only thing I did not like about this game, but everything else, that was alright. The movie was horrible, of course. But to me, this game is more of a conversational piece than anything else. So it's cool to have in my collection regardless. And I've been having trouble finding Saturn games in my area, and when I do, they want a significant amount of money for them, which I'm not about to pay. So I was very happy to pick this up. Next, I picked up a couple games from my good friend Chris, Mr. Redback. You guys know him. You've seen him in a couple videos. He ended up hooking me up with Ren and Stimpy. Well, the Ren and Stimpy show presents Stimpy's Invention. And it's not complete, but I don't care. The case is good, the cover art is good, and the label on the cartridge is decent. I mean, it's not awesome, but it's decent. It was one of my favorite cartoons growing up. I loved it because it was ridiculous. It was a little on the gross side, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. So got that. Next, another staple for the Sega Genesis. I always get mixed reviews on this game too, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was innovative at the time, and I thought, you know, instead of Sega making another, you know, Sonic spin-off or a fake Sonic, you know, they went ahead and tried to make something original, and what I'm talking about is Echo the Dolphin for the Sega Genesis. I've played emulators on it, but I never had an original cartridge. This one doesn't come with a manual either, but the label's pretty nice. The cover art's pretty good too, so I'm kind of excited to play this one. Next, I bought this for $5 complete. of people hate this game, and a lot of people hate the fact that they're trying to make a remake of the game. And I already seen the trailer for the remake, and if you haven't, just go on YouTube and go ahead and type it in, and you'll see it. And he looks deformed, like I don't know. I'm taking the wait and see approach. I'm still gonna want to play it, just to say that I played it. But ended up buying this for $5 from a good friend of ours. He's with the Southwest Florida Gamers, and I haven't gone out hunting with him, unfortunately. But that'll change sooner or later, I guess. And he ended up giving me a copy of Shaq Fu for the Sega Genesis, and it's not the best fighting game. It's not the worst by far. I could think of a couple fighting games that are worse. Maybe Kasumi Ninja on the Atari Jaguar. Primal Rage is a pretty shitty game. But this was not the worst. But I like to think it's in the lower top 10 fighting games. The manual's there. The little tabs here are broken. The label on the cartridge is pretty good. But just like with the Street Fighter over here, you have Shaq Fu. So games like that, they're not they don't break any barriers as far as the genre is concerned. But they're still fun to have in the collection. Just to say, hey, I got main titles and I have some obscure titles, and I also have games that everybody really hates. So I'm all about variety, folks. Okay, the last one ended up being a lot that I picked up for $9. This was one of those days that you guys won't believe it, but there are certain days I don't want to go hunting, game hunting or anything like that, where I just want to relax, maybe drink a beer, watch a ball game or something like that, or just even hang out with my kids. But I see the yard sale signs, and I see a certain amount of cars just start piling up together, and it gets the juices flowing. So I say, you know what? Let me pull over and see what's going on. And I was happy that I did, because for $9 I picked up what the hell is this? Oh, power supply for the Nintendo 64. Unfortunately, this has sort of a prong to it, whereas the American version doesn't. So I'm assuming this is a European piece, or a PAL or something like that. If you guys know what it is, just let me know in the comment section. But it's still good to have, because I know these are going for more than 12. I think between 12 and 18 bucks, I think it is. So it's always good to have, so you can trade somebody with or whatever, So next, I got another batch of games that everybody hates, but I'm keeping them for the cases primarily, because it's getting harder for me to find decent condition PS2 cases. So this is what I got: Guitar Hero, Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, and Guitar Hero Aerosmith, and Guitar Hero Encore Rocks the 80s. I consider these right up there with the Maddens. Like I said, I'll be keeping the cases, but the games they're not going to be coasters. Maybe I'll use them at the gun range for targets. And this was the jewel to find for me. I recently found the box for it, and I had a black one, but now I'm happy to say I have a gray one, and that is another PS2 Slim. Very happy to have this. The first one I had was butchered in the back, where the DC is connected, and ended up being traded away for next to nothing, because I couldn't do much with it really. But now I have 2 of these, and I'm very happy that I have 1 in each color. I have 1 in gray, and then I have this one in the metallic, or the gray, whatever the hell you want to call it. And it came with the AC adapter and the AV cables. The only thing that was missing was the controllers, of course, but I got a lot of those. So, like I said, all in all, a decent weekend, a decent haul. Making more contacts along the way, just riding the wave, basically, man. I'm having a blast. It's not even a year yet. It will be a year in January, and by then I'll have a video basically wrapping things up and getting ready for the next season. But I'm hoping for bigger and better things next weekend. Until then, guys, stay safe. Like, rate, comment, subscribe. Hit me back with some stuff. Whatever. You can catch me on Facebook, Vintage Game Finder. You can see my videos, of course. You're watching me now, obviously, on YouTube. Stay safe and happy hunting.